Okay. It looks like we are live. How is everyone today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jason Levine. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Premiere Pro Facebook page, as well as on YouTube and Twitter Periscope. Great to be back on the blog with all of you. On the blog? What? Great to be back on the stream with all of you today after just returning from IBC in Amsterdam. So today's topic is about the Terminator Dark Fate Create Your Fate trailer remix challenge. And if any of you have been following some of the news over the last, it's not a little less than a week already, we've got a remix challenge going on where we will provide you clips from the Terminator Dark Fate trailer, along with a bunch of music and motion graphics templates and sound effects elements, and give you the opportunity to potentially win 10,000 US dollars. So yes, all the details coming soon. In a moment, we're going to show you how to navigate all of that and tell you where to go and where to get all this stuff. And I'll kind of give you an insight to what you're going to be seeing when you download all that content. So as always, great to see you. It's been quite a while since I've been back on the stream here. So hello, hey Desiree, hey Valentina, Bruce Johnson. Yes, been across the pond, my friends. Good to be back. Naman Artlist, nice to see you. Thomas Benner from Austin. Achilles, Charles Schulten. Hello, Paul Jean Newton. Great to see you. Let's bounce over to the tubes. We've got Colin Blake and Nate and Garden Jama. Great to see you as well. Thank you so much. And as always, of course, we've got our live interactive chat here. So I'm going to be taking you through this. I'll kind of periodically pop back to the chat. I'll save most of my answers for the end here. But I've also got my colleague Josh Hayes tuning in live on the stream from Adobe PR and social. So if you want to ask questions, hopefully he'll be able to tackle some of those while I'm taking you through all the various things. All right, Jacques from South Africa. Tarya, hey, how are you doing? Storp, hello. Hello, friends from the Sudan. Megan Keene, good morning. Good morning, fellow Adobe employee. All right, there's another one in case I can't get to your question. Megan Keene right there. She can answer them for you as well. Bruno, how are you from Roma? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll try and keep this one a bit brief. Lots of stuff to go through, but ultimately really easy. And it's just a really cool thing. Look, just to kind of up your editing chops and to be able to play with really awesome, beautiful footage and some really nice motion graphics and lots of cool sound stuff. All right, so first and foremost, where do you go to get involved to start all of this? Well, you're going to see I'm going to pull up a little graphic right here. Hold on. There we go. All right, so you're going to go to terminator.adobe.com. And when you do that, you will be taken to the site that you see up above right there. All right. Now, once you access the site, let's go ahead and go into participate here. And this is really cool. There's some really nice work done on this. All right. So hashtag create your fate. You're going to want to use that as you talk about and try and inspire others to get involved in this contest. Here you can see the mission objective here. All right, I'll let you go ahead and read all of that. We don't need to go through it all. Here's what's important to you. Some instructions. You're going to download an asset kit and a creative brief. I'm going to show you how to do that and what you're going to get. Remix the trailer in a style of your choice. So that's kind of the idea. Again, the studio has provided us with all of these clips, and you can kind of take it in your own direction. There's some cool audio in there. Again, lots of really cool elements. And then you're basically going to upload your work. All right, this kind of gives you the idea of all of the various prizes here. So again, grand prize, 10,000 cash. What? That's a lot. A year of Creative Cloud, private screening for you and 50 of your closest friends. I don't even think I have 50. Chance to showcase your work at Adobe Max. So if you're going there in November, thinking about going, really cool opportunity. And again, you can see there's some runners-up prizes and a young creator prize as well. All right, you're going to check this box acknowledging that you've read and unconditionally accept and agree to the terms and conditions, which you should read. There are some limitations there, and unfortunately, as is sometimes the case with these kinds of challenges, some regions of the world are not eligible to participate. I apologize for that in advance. Please just read these things and be aware. It'll give you all the information you need there, and you can ask some questions in the chat, and I'm sure they can tell you as well what you need to know there. And then you're going to download these two asset kits, okay? So the first one, as you can see, contains exclusive assets from Terminator Dark Fate. All right, so you're going to download two different zip files. Now, depending upon which browser you're in, these may come in as a zip, or in the case of if you're working in something like Safari, it'll automatically unzip it for you. In any case, when you in fact download it, here's what you'll be presented with. All right, so you've got the 2 zips that you can see up at the top here, and then Asset Kit 1 and 2. All right, and inside number 1, you can see you've got lots of stock audio in 5 different genres, as well as all of the Terminator trailer video files. And then in Asset Kit 2, you've got a bunch of instructions. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to read through a lot of these things, especially if you're trying to install things like motion graphics templates. By the way, worth pointing out that this is also available to you in terms of the challenge, editing in Premiere Pro or Adobe Premiere Rush. So you can do this on mobile, you can do it on the iPad, you can do it on the desktop with Adobe Premiere Rush, or you can work directly on the desktop in Adobe Premiere Pro. A couple of different ways and how you work with some of the content, the footage and motion graphics templates. And again, all of this is contained in these various asset kits. Incidentally, as you go into the second folder here, stock video and MOGRT files, by each genre, they have also included a motion graphics template, which you can use if you so desire. You can also make your own, as well as some additional stock video in that particular style. What's up, the Chris Bryant? Oh yeah, you did the Imagine Dragons video challenge. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure many of you did that back a couple of years ago. Again, I was so happy to be able to present that over the live stream. Super cool. And look, win or lose, it doesn't matter. It just gives you access to really cool stuff. And again, hone those editing chops and just have some fun. Now, just going back to the site here a minute, again, you've got all this stuff that you need to enter the actual contest here. And again, this is going to show you the qualifying countries in the drop down. You can see them right here. All right. I apologize, as I said, why not all of them are available to you. I can't answer that for you, but you'll be able to read through this here. And then as well as some additional tutorials to get you started. If you're new working in Premiere Pro or Premiere Rush, we've got a trailer remix tutorial here for Premiere by my buddy Hakan. And then we've also got a remix tutorial using Adobe Premiere Rush from one of our Adobe Creative residents, Tyler Babin. So these are really short videos, just going to kind of help you get started, get oriented inside of the app, and highly recommend taking a look at these. Again, if you're not kind of already working in the applications. All right. So let's get right to it. All right. So we're going to click over to Premiere Pro. And here is effectively what you're going to get. All right. So again, when you open up, there's also, oh, by the way, there's also a project file. It's worth pointing that out here. In Asset Kit number 1, in the Terminator trailer video files, they did in fact give you a Premiere Pro project file. This is it right here. We're looking at it right now. I've added a couple of new bins and some additional content in there as well. So you'll have a bin with the sequence. All right, we'll play this in just a second. It's just a rough cut of the sequence with only just a dialogue track. All right, and then there's a bin with all of the video. And it's worth pointing out, if you're in this video bin, of course, you can use the standard list view. You can use the icon view. I would highly recommend, though, checking out the freeform view. Right, this is something new that we added in April of this year, and freeform allows you just to, again, take your clips and your media and freely move them around, artboard style, just as a new way to really organize and work with your content before it ever hits the timeline. So I love this. And as I talked about at IBC last week, think of freeform as a continuous video artboard. All right, we have a lot of artboard support in the various Adobe applications, including XD and Photoshop and Illustrator. And you can see how, again, you've got this continuous canvas, got all this footage still down here. There's lots of clips in this trailer, all right? But once you've got them all sort of organized and grouped the way you want, again, you can stack things on top of one another. This is totally free form, true to name here. You can stack things. We can do resizing of the clips. Let's say we wanted this particular one. This is kind of our hero shot for this scene. As you have your clips, you can hover scrub to see what's inside them. You can click inside the clip and shuttle using your JKL keys and set your in and out points right here really easily. It's just a really cool way to work. So again, that's just double clicking on the bin, or you can just view everything inside of the main project panel as freeform as well. That's entirely up to you. Then you'll have an audio folder by default. Again, this only contains this dialogue track from this default sequence that we give you. And then I've created some bins that contain some of the extras, okay? Now, you're going to find in those projects, in the asset kit, that there's lots of stock video and music, all right? So just to show you real quickly, again, everything is broken down by genre. There's 5 different genres here. So if you're to go into something like the horror stock video, you're going to find 3 clips in there. All right, so again, just some random stuff. I don't know how this would necessarily integrate into your trailer remix, but that's the idea. Have fun with it, right? I mean, this is your vision, right? So here's another one, kind of a cool, creepy, sort of dark highway, single car driving, graveyard. All right, it's a little Halloween-y, but you know, why not? You get the idea. So we've got some horror stock video, documentary stock video, notebook writing, sort of cool. Nice shallow depth of field shot here. Looks like it potentially could have been a 50 mil. Cool little time lapse of some sunset. What's this? Unknown interview. Creepy. Again, I don't know how this one necessarily works, but we'll see. I'm excited to see what you're going to do. Western stock video. All right, these are kind of cool little insert shots. Beautifully shot, beautiful stuff. Yeah, there's some kind of cool little tracking and or dolly shots here. Old town. This actually looks like a composite. I don't know if this is After Effects or real, but it doesn't really matter. Pan of Cow Skull, Death Valley. Okay. Again, this could be After Effects or C4D, not even sure, but looks pretty darn cool. So you're going to find lots of stock video, first and foremost, okay? And then you're also going to find stock music. Now, for each of those genres, they have effectively roughly two different default soundtracks that you can check out. And then there are edits, long and short, and little looped, extracted versions of each of those soundtracks. The reason for using these, should you so desire, is that they're royalty-free, they're ready to go, you don't have to think about it, use them at your own will. I don't recommend using commercial music, okay? If anything, if you're going to compose something on your own and you want to make it available, and you're comfortable with doing that, that's entirely up to you. The stock music is pretty cool, and of course you could theoretically use other stock music that you licensed if you desired. Just to kind of show you here, so again, kind of play a couple of these for you and take a listen to this. It's very, very positive. All right, more Western. Whistling's a little weak, not gonna lie to you there. I would highly recommend checking out my own Western soundtrack called We Inspire, which you can find on Vimeo. Where I did authored a tune in the style of Ennio Morricone. And the whistling is far better than that. Okay, anyway, let's see. Ghostly Visions. Creepy, dark, ominous intro. Oh, I like this one. Now, again, you have the option here to, manipulate and mess about with this content too. So all the effects, all the plugins, all the filters that you would typically use in your edits, you can use these things too. That's kind of the idea, all right? So again, lots of stock music, lots of stock video. Before we get to sound design and sound effects, let's talk about one more stock element that you'll find in the asset package, which is the inclusion of motion graphics templates. Oh, and I was going to play this little trailer edit for you. Yeah, let me play a couple seconds of this, kind of get the idea what this looks like, all right? Let's go into full screen here. Here we go. Let's just play back a little bit of this. Hold on, I'm going to hide my camera, get myself out of the way, all right? And let's take a look at this.
Talk fast.
You first.
Again, no sound design yet, no music.
Calmer. August 29, 1997 was supposed to be Judgment Day. But I changed the future. Saved 3 billion lives. Enough of a resume for you?
No. You may have changed the future, but you didn't change our fate. I know you're scared, but I'm here to protect you.
Okay. So you get the idea. We don't have to play through the whole thing here. But again, you know, as you're watching this, you're probably thinking of, oh, I can think of some pretty cool opportunities, right? Especially for sound design. We'll talk about that in a second. And music, I mean, all of these things. You know, all of this, great opportunities for you to leverage your sound editing techniques, your sound design chops, and really augment this thing and make it something big and magical and just truly inspirational, okay? Really cool clips here. It's so awesome to have the dialogue from Linda Hamilton and some of the other actors. I mean, really, really cool stuff, okay? So again, now, should you want to include some additional graphical elements, we've also included some motion graphics templates. Now, you will find those in Asset Kit number 2 in each of the associated genres. So, like, if we were to go into documentary, in the documentary folder, you will see there is a Mogert, and there's a .mogrt file for you to import. Again, there's some instructions on how to do that. I'm here in Premiere Pro with the Essential Graphics panel open already. This is the graphics workspace, slightly modified, of course, but you can access all of your workspaces from up in the window menu here. As you can see, I'm using the graphics one. Okay. And at the bottom of the Essential Graphics panel, you will see this little plus import sign to install motion graphics template. All right, click on that, navigate to the folder. You can see I just recently opened the drama one. Do it, and it'll show up. Now, by the way, if you're just looking in your local templates folder here, by default, this sorts, I believe, alphabetically. So if you want your newly imported Mogerts to show up directly, you see we've got this little, you can't see it because I need to zoom in. We've got this little drop-down menu here. Just sort by recent instead of by title, and this will ensure that your most recently imported ones appear at the top of the motion graphics template list. You can see I've already gone ahead and starred these as favorites, so I can just pull them up immediately. And this is just, again, these are some of the various ones that they gave us in those 5 different genres. They have slightly different names. I'm guessing thriller is related to the horror one. Neon Love titles, that's probably the romance one. Kind of odd to think of romance and Terminator Dark Fate, but, you know, why not? It's entirely up to you. All right. And to begin working with these things, it's as simple as, you know, taking the template and dragging it into the timeline. Now, I want to point out something that you'll see on screen. If we go into the info box here, okay, let's click on I for info. All right. So what this is telling you, you'll notice that we've got this little font icon with the exclamation point here. What that's telling us is that this is using a font that we don't have installed, that we don't have licensed to Creative Cloud. Well, fortunately, all of the fonts leveraged for these motion graphics templates are part of Adobe fonts. So if you simply drag this template into Premiere Pro, as we're going to do right now, and it tells you the duration right here, when you do that, it will automatically prompt you and download the necessary font for that motion graphics template. Okay, so you don't have to worry about how do I get it? Do I have to go to, you know, some other location to grab those or something like that? This one's taking quite some time to import for some reason. Okay, we'll give that a second here. Oh, there it goes. It just came in. All right, so still looks like it's caching some of that. Okay. But then you'll see all the various editable fields of said template. And you can see in this particular one, wow, there's all kinds of editability here. Hold on, I'm just going to drop my resolution. Yeah, you know, some of these, again, I don't, there's lots of different elements inside of these motion graphics templates, so some may be leaner than others. Let's take this dynamic one here, see what's in this. All right. It's got to load, it's got to import all the various elements of the template. Remember that these things can contain everything from Cinema 4D elements, they can contain all sorts of things created in After Effects. All right, so this one, it's just taking a second to load these. Just gonna have to give it a moment to load them. All right, they will come. I'm being super patient and chill about it. Now, while I'm just on this thriller one here, you can see that you can alter things like title. They've actually given you, the designer has given you access to change the font right here. This was a new functionality that was added via After Effects. Was that in the April release too? I think it was, as well as the sort of like faux bold style, etc., faux italic. Mapped wipe to a particular color, so you can see we can change source text here. So, you know, my remix, whatever it is that you want it to be. We can change the font if so desired. This one must be pretty heavy because it's taking a second. There it goes, displaying on screen. Then let's see, it's got shatter, so there must be some crazy kind of animation going on with this. Looks like it's got some like light flicker too. Okay. Shatter style. So there's two different shatter styles apparently. I guess the text maybe kind of breaks apart, which is kind of cool. And then there's a scene element here. So look at this. So a couple of different backgrounds. All right. Which is just, these are just taking a minute. All right. You can see the background swapping out. So that's kind of a, looks like a more asphalt type background there, kind of a scratchy, marbly stone surface. And what's the first one here? Yeah, kind of like wet asphalt with like oil stains and stuff. It's pretty cool. All right, background brightness. All right, so all of these various sliders, dust, opacity. Oh, that's why. So there's like lots of effects and things playing on these. Hey, listen, you know, obviously they wanted to give you some pretty sweet design for these things. So, by the way, you'll see now as I'm scrubbing through, these motion graphics templates are basically live After Effects comps playing in the Premiere Pro timeline. So just like with After Effects, as you start scrubbing through them, it's going to cache those frames, all right? So you'll see as I'm doing that now, right? It's caching, so now we're getting some real-time playback. You can see how like the blood on my text is moving. There's all this flicker and light. I mean, it looks really super cool. You're going to need to do that in order to see them playing in real time. Kind of nature of the beast there. All right. But in any case, you have 5 of these at your fingertips, which you can begin using. Also, you will have access, of course, to all of the Adobe stock motion graphics templates. So again, at the top of Essential Graphics here, Adobe stock. Let's just look at free ones, and you can go into things like backgrounds. All right, if we type in backgrounds and search on those, tons and tons of different cool animated backgrounds, okay, which you can again just drag and drop right in here. The free ones, there's no license fee to pay. You just drag them in and they just start working. So, oh, this one's cool, right? So look at this. Oh, super cool. Wow, so there's a lot of text in this one, right? You see that? Wow, really cool. So here, let's just kind of edit some of this and see. All right, first is, oh, and they even gave you editable font, editable letter spacing, dynamic. You know, I'm struggling for text ideas. Where? All right, goes wrong. One woman will change the fate for all beings. Okay? And what's really cool about motion graphics templates, again, is that as you're editing these things, it just updates. What was the last thing I just said? For all beings. And change the world in the process. In the process. Okay. You get the idea. So you can see this one is happening pretty quickly. There's like lots of cool, really super cool animation. Right? That's neat. Let me play that back.
Have changed the future, but you didn't change our fate.
I like that one. Dynamic type motion template. So again, you get the idea, all right? You can play around with these things in both Premiere Pro and in Rush. Just remember that for something like this one in particular, this is heavy. There's lots of heavy After Effects stuff going on here. It's just going to take a second to cache. Don't get discouraged, all right? Okay, so let's talk about sound and sound design. And I'm just going to bounce over to the chat real quickly, see if there's anything I can answer before we get to sound. What's up, Bruno, Marcus from Switzerland, Mason, Chic from Istanbul, hello, Kevin Horton, Siroz, Deshar, yo, Fernando Marquez, Mason, nice. All right, Rogelio, hello. All right. Sandy Chu, how are you? Nice to see you. All right. Nice, okay. Oh, was someone having some paused video on the stream? Oh, sorry about that. Let's check over the tubes here. What have we got going on? All right. Paul and Nate. Creeps channel. Puneet, hello. Hank, how are you? Oh, yes, to upload our IBC selfie. Best way really is just, to post it to Twitter. Or contact me there and I can send you some additional details. Sasa from Slovenia, hello. Stephanie Chavez from New Mexico, how are you? Okay. Sweet. Okay. All right, so let's get to some of the sound design stuff. So, you may notice, of course, that we didn't include any sound design in the asset packages. However, we have over 10,000 royalty-free sound effects that you can use in this project. So inside of the FAQ in asset kit number 1, you're going to find a link. And the link, which I've made a little bit.ly for here, which will be easier to remember, links you to this site. So this is the little bit.ly that I made for you. So bit.ly/SFX and music. If you go to this URL, it's going to take you to this particular site, Adobe Audition Downloads, and this is going to allow you to access 27 bundles of over 10,000 sound effects, okay? And this includes everything from transportation sound effects, so again, like cars and planes and boats and all kinds of cool stuff, ambient sound, environmental sound, horror sound, Foley, again, all of the, stepping, running, breathing, punching, all of those things. Great stuff in there. So let's just go over to this View Downloads link. So when you click on that, again, these are all organized as zipped categories. So, ambience, animals, cartoon, crashes. This is essential. You saw there's lots of crashes in this thing, right? Explosions, fire, such cool stuff in here. Of course, you can use these for anything, by the way. You download them as zip collections. This is partly why we didn't include them in the package, because you can see, first of all, some of these collections are very, very large. Also, it would be hard to give you kind of a best of. Better just to give you access to everything and then you can decide. So once you do that, once you download all that stuff, there are 10,000 of them. So, going into Premiere Pro, and here, let me get rid of that bit.ly. Hopefully you've all gotten it by now. Once you go into Premiere Pro, here's the thing. In Premiere, I've opened up a couple of these. There's no easy way, quick way to preview everything, right? You have to physically double click on each of them. Like if I were to go to this explosion, demolition, large, deep blast, dynamite, go into the source monitor, and then play it. That's like only to decide, do I want this? Does it matter? Do I care? Okay, so check this out. I'm going to show you a cool little way to audition your sound design elements. Now, you can choose to do it like this or not. You can just go to Audition directly. Frankly, that's the best way. to do this because we have a real-time preview inside of Audition's media browser. All right, so let me just show you that first. Click over to Audition. So I've downloaded all of the sound effects collections. In fact, I've showcased many of them on the stream here many times. They're in a collection called Lubology. And you'll see, again, at the top here, all of the various categories. So everything from ambience, animals, cartoon, fire, explosions, transportation. All right, let's take a look. So if you twirl down each of these collections, again, and you can see the namings are so specific. Transportation, air brakes from fire truck. You know, as you get down into some of the vehicles, it gets really specific. You know, Nissan Altima, seat move back a little. Nissan Altima, hood unlatch, you know. Police cars, Saturn. You can tell these were created a while ago. We're talking about the vehicle Saturn, not the planet, of course. You know, etc. All the, you know, boat engine handles, false starts, etc. All this stuff. Now you might be thinking, okay, well, what's the difference? I still have to double click them, bring them into the edit view, and play them. Here's airplane jet rev engine. Elements like these are great just to have as kind of underscore and background. But here's the thing. Inside of Audition's media browser, all right, slightly modified version of the media browser that you have in Premiere and After Effects, at the bottom of the media browser panel, you will see that there is an autoplay button. Is that coming through on the stream here? I can't, hold on, I can't see. Hopefully you're seeing that. I'm zoomed in enough. Yeah, okay, you can see it. So there's an autoplay button. So if you go ahead and check that, and this of course is a loop playback, so you can do this for the music as well. As you click on each one of these different sound effects, they'll just automatically start playing. Okay, you get the idea, right? So this is a great way to kind of sort of get a good idea of what's inside of here. Great, great explosion sound effects. C4. Okay, so you still might be thinking, okay, but how does this help me in terms of editing in Premiere? Okay. So if you want to get a little crafty, here's a little tip, all right? Now, this doesn't matter if you've already finished your edit, it's locked down, it's ready to go. Like, none of that, frankly, really matters. Hold on, I'm just going to take out these motion graphics templates for a second because I don't need them here. What you can do, you can even do this, by the way, with the default sequence that we give you. You can take this sequence, because this has got, you know, all of the various clips in there. Chris is saying, I'd love to be there when they create all the explosion sound effects. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And some of these might be licensed from different libraries and things over the years, but they're super cool. Okay, so from within Premiere Pro, if you go up to the Edit menu. Edit menu? No, Sequence menu. What am I trying to do? Edit menu. Sorry, I just had a little brain fart right there. And you go Edit in Adobe Audition, Sequence. Okay? This is now going to allow you to send the whole sequence over to Audition, all just in an effort to more tightly integrate maybe importing the sound design directly into your Premiere Pro project. You don't have to line stuff, you don't have to do the sound design work there, although you could, and, you know, frankly, I think that's a better way to do it. That's how I would do it. But it's just a better way to allow you to preview quickly, bring elements in, and then you can worry about how you attach them to the project afterwards, okay? So you can see here, we're going to send this over to Audition, send via dynamic link. Let's go ahead and click OK on this, all right? Now again, if you're looking to kind of do your audio finishing in Premiere Pro, that's entirely up to you. You can do that absolutely any particular way that you want. If you want to do it on the Audition side, this is a great way to do it. Now, something to keep in mind, that dynamic link over to Audition is technically one way. So if you want to send these audio files back, any stuff that you import into the project, you're effectively doing an export to or a render, but you can send all of them over as stems. So it's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. If nothing else, you know, you can also just figure out the sound effects you want and then go back to Premiere and import them there directly. You don't have to do it here. Just trying to show you that this is one way to do it. All right. So let's just say that we wanted to, you know, bring in this sound effect. All right. So I could just add this to a track. All right. I'm trying to find a spot. I mean, I know there's lots of explosions and things in here. Again, I'm not worried about actually lining things up. Okay.
For you.
No. You change the future.
Just trying to show you that now this is part of, it's inside the sequence. All right. We could take any of these explosion blasts, right, and just start dragging elements in. Okay? If you want to keep them separated and you want to have individual stems, you can do that by just placing them on their own tracks in Audition. Now, the reason I say that is because if you now wanted to send all of this content back over to Premiere, again, it's going to be a render. So from the multi-track menu, you would choose Export to Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay. And then from there, you're going to say Export each track as stem. Now, again, you can have multiple sound effects, sound design in a single track. It's just going to flatten and render all that out together. So that just means you just cut it up once it's in Premiere. Not a big deal, but just something to keep in mind. So let's just do that for the heck of it for right now, okay? Let me go ahead and do that for you just to kind of show you what that looks like. Export to Premiere Pro, export each track as stem. Okay, we've only got a couple little elements in here. Go ahead and click Export. It goes back to Premiere. Now again, you can copy this to the active sequence. So the sequence that you sent over, we're just going to synchronize all of that stuff right back into the sequence here. New audio tracker, you can start to copy it to any empty ones. Let's just click OK. All right, like this. All right, did I do it? Yes, I did. And now you can see that it brought back over everything. Again, here was the original dialogue. Here's the same dialogue. It just separated those out as mono files because that's how this particular project was created. It was a multi-channel adaptive master. So there's the same dialogue in sync. There's our that first track that had some combined sound design, right? So we had some C4, we had some long explosion and another short explosion. So this is what I was talking about. Because those were contained in the same track, in this case, we would just need to bring them into the source monitor here. And if we wanted to use this one, you know, we would just set an in, I, O, and now we could take this little clip of just that explosion and drag it around and, you know, do whatever we wanted to do with it, okay? So that's kind of just a faster way to preview all of the various sound effects that we allow you to use from that library really quickly. Now, if you decide to do the sound design in Audition, I'm just trying to find something where there's a logical explosion or something. Oh, here, and we've got some debris. Let me see. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to bring this in here. You will notice, you will see a little blue line, a dotted blue line, as I'm moving this clip, okay? So this is an option which you will find if we go into Preferences here. Under Video, there's an option that was added to Audition about a year ago, Spot Video Frame when adjusting audio clip. So what this does and what that blue line represents, and this of course helps to be fairly zoomed in, and you can adjust your timeline display to be at the same frame rate as the timeline coming from Premiere Pro. This just allows you a little bit more accuracy when you know, moving your content around when you're trying to synchronize clips to action in the video. Okay, so again, if you're looking to do the sound design on the Audition side, I happen to really like doing it this way. This is the way I will do. I mean, I always do it this way. This is just how I like to work. But it just helps a little bit to have a little bit more accuracy when trying to, again, like kind of line these things up and just have this sound design placed exactly where you want it to be. So we could mute these others here, bring this down like this. All right. And then the action just happens exactly where it's meant to happen. So it's entirely up to you how you do your sound design. This is also a good opportunity to lay in some of that soundtrack music that you found in the asset package. Lots of options here, okay? Now, if you do it from Audition, you can also finish it from Audition. Ancient Minds, I love how Premiere Pro has a mini Audition in it. Yes, I mean, you're going to find a lot of the same functionality in Premiere as well. I just like doing it here because you have that autoplay functionality inside of the media browser. And if you're working with sound design, you know, it can get hairy, you know, it can just take a lot of time. You know, if you go into some of the Foley options here, again, sound design is all about combining and getting experimental. So there's all kinds of cool things in here, you know, where there was that fight scene going on. You know, you can just imagine. Yeah, I mean, some of these cans and bottles and cloth ripping, chains rattling, ceramic plates, metal carts. I mean, that's the thing is I think I'd go nuts if I had to keep double clicking to hear stuff in a source monitor. So this is just a great way, if nothing else, to just preview everything, throw it in the timeline, and then, like I said, just export it back to Premiere. It'll be in a long stem, but who cares? You're going to cut and you're going to sort of, you know, finesse the section that you want anyway. You're going to ramp up volume. This is just an easy way to get it in the project and to send it back to Premiere, and then you can kind of keep working that way. All right? So, sound design elements, motion graphics templates elements, stock music elements, and then, of course, all of the various trailer video elements available to you as well, okay? Super cool, super easy to do. All the details, again, are contained in that URL that I pulled up moments ago. Let's pull it back up here. How to get started. Terminator.adobe.com. That's where you want to go to get all of the contest challenge details and rules. Also supported regions around the world. This is where you can download your asset package, packages, and then begin recutting this trailer. It will also give you all the information about where to upload this and what to do once you've finished your project. There's some size limitations and things, so you know, don't plan on creating something in 8K that's 10 gigs. They're not going to let you upload that. So be sure to read through the FAQ and some of the rules regarding what the deliverable is supposed to be, so that you know, do exactly what they're looking for and stay within those guidelines. All right. So we're just going to quickly check back here to see if there's any additional questions before I let you go, and hopefully you'll go and get started editing. All right. Nick DeMarco. Ooh, sound effects. Leah T. We can use them for any project. Yes, you absolutely can. Yuri Manning, what's up? All right. Okay, Doug Baker. Hopefully now David Stockdale, it's working for you. Okay. The bit.ly link is case sensitive. Yes, that's why I did it that way. You will want to do that. Thank you. All right. Game on, Jamie Seed. Yes. Awesome. All right. Dane Anderson, are these sounds free to use for commercial purposes? They are. Okay, now I'm kind of sorry that I did it case sensitive. My bad. I was just trying to keep it easy for you. Again, you'll find the full long link inside the FAQ, but here, let me pull it up one more time to download those sound effects. Case sensitive here. bit.ly/capital SFX, lowercase and capital M music. All right. This will allow you right there. That's the link. Stupid case sensitivity. My fault. I don't know why I did that. I thought it would be weird to have SFX and music. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I just made it more difficult trying to make it easy. My apologies. Okay. Alright, everyone, so that is it for the stream today. Great to see you all. Thank you so much. Good luck. Bon chance. Can't wait to see what you come up with. Again, you can see all the details there about the prizes and everything else. So cool. Be sure to get your hands on the asset packages and begin recutting your vision for the Adobe and Terminator Create the Fate Trailer Remix Challenge. So until next time, have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you again next time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.